£750,000. $1 million is what Forest have been charged for one tweet. Welcome to your Forest News. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest News. And I gotta say, I am fuming at the news from the other day about this Forest fine. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And today's video is sponsored by our good friends at MECARREIRA, where you can buy and sell stocks into players and watch your money go up if your football knowledge is good enough. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today, because I'm ready to invest in my boy Morgan Gibbs-White. So to get Morgan Gibbs-White, which is the player I want to do, all you got to do is head across to MECARREIRA. You can scan that QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. And as you can see, quite a few players are down, which is always a good time to invest, in my opinion. So just go to the website, search for the player you want to invest in. We're going for Mr. Gibbs-White himself, and it's so easy to do. Him at $0.138 is way too cheap, in my opinion. I'm going to hit the buy button, then I'm going to put the amount, I'm going to put in $5, test the market out. Then I'm going to hit buy, select my payment of method. I'm going to go with Visa. And then you are going to add your Visa card details in there. So guys, don't try and rob me right now, but there you go, you can't see it anyway. Confirm and pay. And just like that, I should now have a stake in Morgan Gibbs-White. So Morgan, make sure you go out and smash it. Hopefully you're back for the Crystal Palace match, which we're hearing strong rumors that you should be. And then you can get a couple of goals and assists and build that hype up around you. So guys, it's as simple as that to purchase in on the players. Make sure you go and check MECARREIRA out and see if you can use your football knowledge to make yourself some money. Scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. And remember, this is part of the blockchain, so your money will always be secure. So let's cast your minds back, guys, and talk about this tweet. This was the initial tweet after Forest got screwed over by Stuart Twatwell against Everton last year in the 3-0 defeat, where we believed we had 3 claims for basically stone cold Steve Austin penalties. And Forest then took to social media straight after and posted the tweet, as it is now being referred to. So the tweet, let me remind you what it said. 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. We warned the PG LOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game, but they didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. NFFC will now consider its options. So that was back, I think, April the 21st that was tweeted. And it has taken this long for them to have their hearing and the commission and everything like that. And there is a huge document out there which breaks down exactly what was discussed and what was said. Basically, the FA put 8 charges up against Forest, and I'll just highlight a couple of them to you. It says the charges laid by the FA as following. It is alleged that your comments posted to X, formerly Twitter, in April 2024 constitutes improper conduct in that they imply bias and / or are questioning the integrity of the match official, basically Stuart Twatwell. Then the 8 reasons they gave. Very high was number 1. Deliberate intent, i.e. a deliberate, premeditated and calculated decision by the club as a collective organization to explicitly allege actual bias against an official and / or bringing the game into disrepute with full foresight. Reckless disregard is the second one. Gross negligence. Simple negligence. They basically threw everything they could at it. What made me laugh was apparently the response of Forest for the first one, the highest one, about premeditated, was that such behavior doesn't count as that, because such behavior might be exemplified by a message such as, the ref is bent, retweet if you agree. Can't believe they put that in there. That absolutely cracked me up. So there was loads of reasons in there, and then the conclusion was basically that the panel found them guilty and decided to fine us $750,000, aka $1 million. Now, Forest have responded to this, and they have said in a short statement, Nottingham Forest Football Club is extremely disappointed with the decision of the regulatory commission to impose a $750,000 fine in relation to comments posted on social media following our Premier League fixture against Everton on the 21st of April. We're particularly concerned, and this is the interesting bit, that the FA in its submission sought a sanction in excess of £1 million, not dollars, pounds. We believe that this request, along with the subsequent fine, is wholly disproportionate, and the club will be appealing the decision. Good for you, Forest, put in a stand. And that's what's important about this. So, look, am I annoyed by this? I really am, because there's many, many different layers to this that I want to talk with you guys about. And of course, get your thoughts in the comments down below. Should Forest have been fined that much? The first thing I got to say is, let's go back to my reaction. When I first saw the tweet, I remember we were just starting the player ratings after that Everton match, and I grimaced because you know there's going to be consequences off the back of it. And then as that tweet kind of sunk in and you re-see the replays of the penalties and everything, you're like, you know what, man? Forest have got a point here. And fair play to them because they've left it up. And this is part of the thing that's annoyed the FA, is that Forest haven't deleted the tweet, nor have they apologised for it. Good for you. But my real concern about this is freedom of speech. We all hear about us here out in the West, in England, in the UK. We have the right to say what we want within reason. And this technically wasn't racist, it wasn't homophobic, it wasn't religious or anything like that. It was an opinion by someone at the club. Now, what's interesting is that Forest would not let them know who did the tweet. They basically said, we don't know, we can't remember. It was someone. And the response from the FA was, well, they're saying that because they don't want further charges on that individual. Well, tough luck, FA. If you can't prove it, then, you know, move on. But for me, this is about freedom of speech and the right of response for football teams. I'm sick of this era we're living in where when a mic is put in front of a manager or a player and they're asked a question about, say, a decision that's happened on the pitch, they can't really respond how they want to. You can see it in their eyes. They know it was a penalty or wasn't a penalty or whatever the scenario may be. But they haven't got that right to response because they're going to get fined 20k or 50k or whatever the FA and the commission decide. And that takes away from the integrity of the game. Also, my biggest concern about this, it is now given more protection to the officials. Now, there's going to be no club that will have the kahunas to stand up anymore. Now that they've seen how heavy they've gone with the penalty, what have the club got to gain? Could you imagine a crappy, I don't know, Boring Mouth or something, or a club with no money at all in the Premier League like a Man U, deciding something's gone against them and then realizing, well, if we tweet about it, we're going to get fined. So let's just, you know, pull our pants down, bend over and take our punishment kind of thing. So that's my worry about it. And that takes away from the connection fans have. Like when you see a decision's gone wrong, obviously we scream and shout about it, but you want it acknowledged. You want the footballing world, the pundits, the mainstream media and the players to be agreeing with you that you're not blind, that you did see it, that it was a stonewall penalty or whatever the case may be. And this is just going to add that layer of, you know, it's going to lack authenticity for me with football. And with the referees, it is high time now that refs were mic'd up at the end of the match and did a post-match interview to explain their decisions. I've always said there should be a Premier League of refs as well, a table of them. And the bottom three get relegated, the top one, I don't know, gets a bonus or gets to go and officiate in the Champions League or what have you. And the points are scored by, I don't know how you do it, maybe both managers submit a score. That's what we have to do with referees at grassroots football. At the end of the match, when you put in and confirm the result, you also have to put a rating of the ref and then comments about why you rated them. And it's broken down into sections. So why is that? If that's applicable at grassroots level, why does that stop at professional football level? And in terms of Forest fighting this, I think it's the right choice because right now the FA, the Premier League, etc. have got a lot of egg on their face. They lost the case to Leicester based on a technicality about how poorly their rules are written. They've then lost/won, whatever side of the fence you sit on it, with Man City. Again, though, and the main point being here about how poorly their rules have been written. And now they've got this one with Forest, which isn't going to help their image at all. And I got to say, I think most of the footballing world, and I'm talking outside of Forest here, other supporters of other teams, kind of were on Forest's side on this one, that enough is enough. Stop protecting the referees. Stop making them to be, robot-like. We know they're human. We know they're going to make mistakes. And we know that Stuart Twatwell is a Luton fan. So why protect them? Now, something else they mentioned about Twatwell being a Luton fan was that they said that Forest didn't argue hard enough about this before the game, and that implying bias on him was not in the spirit at all and shouldn't have been done. What I would say then is, why do they have rules where they have to submit a form at the start of the season declaring the likes of who they support, who their families support, where they may have season tickets like members of their family, etc. And usually those games are avoided to those refs. If that's the case, then the FA themselves believe that there will be more. That's for the PGMOL. They believe that there could be tendency for biasy there. Otherwise, you wouldn't need that form or that submission. So I'm not for this, and I hope Forest gets something out of it, but I can't see it, to be honest. But what I can see maybe is the court of public opinion weighing in on Forest's side. Because enough's enough, man. Let people speak freely. Especially, I want to know what Nuno thinks about it without fear of him being charged again. He's got 1 or 2 charges up already still against him. We got players with charges, man. There seems to be more action happening off the pitch these days than on the pitch. And that is not what football should be all about. So, Forest being fined 750k. Get your thoughts in it down below. And that, ladies and gents, brings you up to date with my little rant about this one. But I want to know how you guys think about it. Do you now feel Forest were wrong and shouldn't have done it? Should they remove the tweet from Twitter or X or whatever it's called? Or do you stand firmly with Forest and say, keep sticking 2 fingers up at the man and let's see where this one rides out to? If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Man TV if you are new. Go check out MECARREIRA, and just like me, go get some stock in Morgan Gibbs White. The link is in the comments, or scan the QR code. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.